Hello and welcome to a beer with Raggy, and well, in some ways, discussing drinking, and the worry of it all in some aspects. Let me crack open this beer. I mean, like you, and like me for certain, and I'm right-handed. This is an absolute shit because I hope this beer's okay. It's been in the shed a while, to be fair. Hence why I'm not even reviewing it, because it don't look fizzy out, but we'll see what it tastes like. If it don't taste nice, it's going in the bin. Yeah, it's not so bad. It's a light beer. Yeah, so, beer drinking. What happened on Saturday night, it's kind of me, it has made me think, I love a beer. I love a beer review, the greatest hobby in the world for me. Coming down this shed, doing a bit of talking about beers. And maybe it's a game for somebody who, maybe this beer drinking malarkey is a game for people who, I think it's all down to, like when I left the other night and I fell over and this happened. It gives you a bit of a wake-up call. And no, I'm not going to stop drinking beer. No, not in the slightest. But that overdoing it, certainly having too many beers without somebody, and I've got to be honest, I've now got to that notice in my life now where it looks like when I'm in the house, that's fair dues, because you're in the house, you just fall asleep anyway. When I'm in the house, I'll fall asleep, so it doesn't matter, that you do what you do in your own house. But certainly out and about in the public, it's like the craft beer festival I went to. Now you don't need to be drinking 15% imperial stouts and all that. All these big impies, and yet the funny thing was, we had a big meal to start the day off. We had food in between, and I had loads of water throughout the day, knowing it was going to be a long session, and yet still I cocked up, and I kind of looking at myself and being objective now and saying beer was it, and I'm not happy with myself about that. I've got a family, I've got a wife, I've got kids, I've got grandkids. I'm only 51, 52 in 4 days. Shit. Look at the state of that. And I want to be here for as long as I can. I have so much to give to the world. And there's just that flicker of a moment. Whatever happened on Saturday night at that moment, and I hit that floor, and I was unresponsive for 30 minutes. I know because Google tells me. I don't really want to show you too many details. I'm a fucker for dropping myself in the shit with that. Anyway, no, I won't show it on. But Google shows you. So I'll show you what you can do. So here you go. You click on Google Maps. Please don't be an arse and follow your wife or kids around unless they ask you to. There's a reason behind all that stalking and all that rubbish. But yeah, you go into Google Maps, you click on in Google Maps what you've signed in as. So I'll click on what I've signed in as, and then you click on your timeline. Your timeline's there, going back in time, and yeah, that tells you it's got today on. You can go back in time to whenever you was at any stage. As long as you've been using that phone, and as long as you're not signed in multiple devices, then yeah, wow. How weird is that? Yeah. But saying that, I needed to know what I needed personally the other day to know what the hell happened. And I know at a certain time that it took me ages to get to where I was anyway. And I'd dropped. I wasn't moving for 30 minutes. 30 bloody minutes. Frightening. And you wonder to yourself, you know, is it best just keeping to a certain amount of beers when you're out? Certainly if you're on your own. If you're with people, partners and all that, then there's always somebody there, one to keep an eye on you. I mean, I've been drinking, you know, for a lot of years. I did have a lot of years off it, mind you. And it frightens you when, one, you don't get home, or you've had a fall. You don't know where you are. I was walking around and I did not know where I was, but I don't think I knew mentally what I was doing. I was just walking around up and down the streets. I could see it. I could see this fucking zigzagging, and it's like, Jesus Christ, that's actually really, really scary. One, it's not overly far away from the incident in Nottingham last Tuesday morning. Not overly far. And the frightening thing is, I'm on the floor for half an hour and nobody noticed me. Or did they notice me? And then picked me up, and then I got up and carried on walking, and then fell twice. Or possibly more times. And that's why I've got bruises and bumps galore. Yeah. Luckily, I mean, I'm actually quite a fit bloke, you know, in the grand scheme of things. I graft all day. And apart from probably drinking maybe a 1 or 2 beers more than what you should do, I've calmed it down massively since last year. But then it throws this into thing for me where if I can't trust myself to have a drink, have a good drink, and not know when to put the lid on it, do I stop it? Stop that side of things altogether? Do I look at the heavy beers, the big imperial stouts, and think, you know, am I at that stage in life where, you know, leave those big super beers to somebody when I'm out? When I'm at home, all different. But when I'm out and I'm on my own and trying to get home, leaving those big super beers to people younger and obviously a lot more beer experience. You'd think I'd be beer experienced, wouldn't you? And yet this proved it. Proved it the other week at my stag do. It's been literally 2 occasions in a short space of time. Stag do, we were drinking the impies and stuff. And I was with friends, and they actually phoned my wife. And but we'd had no food. So I was disappointed in myself for dropping first at the hurdle. Although, to be fair, quite a few of us were ready. So we all got about the same sort of balance in that respect. Andy, who was with, he actually had some food. So he was all right. He'd rallied. He was half nodding, and then he rallied. And the food obviously helped. And then he drank some, in one pub I think he drank orange. And I should have done that. And it's this thing, and I know Craig, when Kent Beer Reviews came to Nottingham, he went on to water. He had water, but I had water the other day as well. Today we've gone through how much I spent on Saturday. And it came to about 60 something quid. And that was with 2 meals as well. I did get a couple of freebies from some breweries, so trying to think who. Certainly Navigation. I can't think who else. Might have been somebody else. Apologies if you didn't, I can't remember. But it spooked me. This, I mean, falling asleep in a pub, I've done that years before. You know, I stopped, we didn't drink a lot in them days. But I was with the wife. And then this is a whole new fucking ball game. This is a life-changer ball game for me. Because it makes me question beer drinking. And like I said, whatever happens in my shed and I'm going up to the house is one thing. So the future of Raggy's Beer Review channel is not in any doubt whatsoever. It's the going out side of things. And we've been going out quite a lot over the last year or so, supporting, you know, I try in my own weird fashion, supporting local pubs and stuff, and pubs from further afield. And like I say, certainly the big beers. You know, I want to put this question out to people, you know, have you got your own stop power? Have you got the willpower to say, right, I've had enough, I'm going home? Or do you just, fuck it, keep going? There's always another beer. And I tell you what, it's that frightening thing. Someone said to me, was you punched? I don't think so. It's not looking good on this side of the face, to that side of the face, but did I go down on that side? Was I punched and knocked out? Did someone come up to me and go, bang? And there's the thing, I fucking don't know. You know, I know I was down for half an hour and I got up. And like I says in the last video, I was in the nurses, and it just came across to me that there's a memory that's come of people around me kind of helping me up. But could this have been from another time, years ago, another occasion? It'd be weird if someone's actually seen the t-shirt Raggy Beer Reviews and gets in contact. Because that, you know, I need to know the story. I need to know the story. I would never have done anything wrong. I'm not, that's the person I'm not. I'm a nice person, has a drink, chats to people, enjoys a bit of banter, a bit of friendly banter, enjoys the beer, you know, the taste of the beer. The scene, I mean, that beer scene, the craft beer scene's amazing. You don't get no trouble. There's always one that gets slightly intoxicated, walks in and fucking smashes his face. Not quite. But yeah, it's just that not knowing. And it freaks me, I can't put my family through that again. And like I say, unless I've got a chaperone, I think it's that life-changing moment. You know, 50. You know, I know the blood that was down the front of me, down here, all over my arms, all over my face. They were wiping blood off me in the A&E. I was a fucking wreck when I walked through that door. My wife's face was scary. My son, they were going to give me a bollock. I knew they were going to give me a bollocking, and they just looked and shouted, "Need to get you to the A&E." And I didn't think I was that bad, to be honest. But I seen the look of fear, and as a family man, as the bread and butter and all that rubbish, you know. But as someone who loves his family, can't be doing that. Can't ever be doing that. I mean, I love a beer down the shed. Like I say, that side of things won't change. I've calmed my drinking down anyway. The anxiety is nothing like it was years, you know, when at 3 years ago, it was shocking. Obviously, that was we were in a different era then. I mean, like most people, we go through shit, don't we? I've gone through the car issues, bloody car, the loss of our dog, you know. But this self-made, I suppose. But was it? Did someone go bang and I was laid out cold? Fucking fucking hell. In the Basford area. Or was it Basford area? Because Google gives you an approximation. It doesn't say you was at that moment at that time. Stinging like a fucking hell. I need to go and get some painkillers after this. But yeah. Opens your world up, doesn't it? You know. Or is it just a bad night out? Or a bad end to a great weekend? That really is what I should be looking at. But it is a scary moment in time. And it's certainly aches and pains. I've got to take 2 days holiday, possibly 3, because I dare not know how I'm going to be. I'm all right now. I think I could drive quite easily like this. I can see out this eye, so I've got full vision. As you've got to be careful with, because you can't be fucking driving on the roads with no vision. So, I mean, I've recovered very quickly actually in that side of things. It's last night I couldn't open my eye. I could if I pulled it down and opened it, but I couldn't do it. And you know, I just want to say to people out there, you know, I possibly should not have done that second session. Should have done the first session. Fucked it off at 5:30. I've had a great session. And I think, you know, if the way I look at it, did the session on the Friday night with me, wife and mates, the happy drinkers. I had a nice amount then. You know, I wasn't drunk, but I certainly wasn't sober. On the Saturday, if I'd have gone till 5:30, then maybe gone in the pub or two afterwards and then shot home, that would have been the sensible option. And yep, is it a case of growing up? Wife will moan at me about it, but I understand the moaning. You know, I understand the worry I caused. Don't like putting my family through that shit. You know, I'm the fucking stalwart of the family who suffers a lot of anxiety and that stuff. And I can't be the one who's causing all the anxiety. You know, shit like that's going to come at some time in life when we get ill. And yeah, it's just that not knowing. You know what I mean? It's I'll probably crack open a live sometime this week when my face gets a bit better. It's killing me at the moment. Yeah, it's not even a fucking joke. It's killing me. Yeah, all around here is absolutely sore as fuck. Here's sore as hell as well. And then down there's sore. My legs and arms are sore. But like I say, no joke aside, I saw the look and the worry in my family. And yeah, just want to hear people's thoughts about that. You know, can you trust yourself? The biggest judge of me is me. And yeah, I've done the old sneaky beers and sneaky stuff in the past and that, but I've only got a few feet to walk. I mean, I've slipped on the decking before, but there you go. But it's only a few feet. But being out like that, I think I fell. But can I be 100% sure? No. The scans have all been done, so it doesn't say I've any blunt impact to my face. But there's that moment of not knowing. I know where I walked. I know that I was walking around in the days because I'm going backwards and forwards up different streets. And fuck me, I've covered more Nottingham on that than most people. You know, fuck me. Got my steps in. Not quite what I wanted to get my steps in. Certainly fell down a few times. Fucking hell, pity Google don't tell you when you fell down. Now that would be good, wouldn't it? But there's the moment. Anyway, there's a really serious side to this that I want to get across to everyone. I'm going to do a proper Nottingham Craft Beer Festival review, but not when my face is looking like this. Look, I couldn't. I spoke to some amazing people. I want to talk about the beer festival in the most positive manner so that I can spread that. But this is my set way of saying, be careful out there, you know, with your drinking. And certainly being on your own, ladies and gentlemen, you know, maybe getting to a point and thinking, do you know something? That's enough. Yeah. Pubs want you back the next night. We don't want anybody, you know, getting ran over in the road. These things happen. I know that. People have been hit by cars when they're pissed out of the face. Scary. Can't do that to my family. Can't do that to myself, my family, and that. Scary. Anyway, the channel continues. But maybe, yeah. What's your thoughts and aspirations? I'd be glad to hear comments on this, see what everyone else thinks. Have you had a moment yourself where you've done that, done something silly? Yeah, it's certainly you know, it's a topic of conversation, I think. And I do thank everyone for calling in. Self-inflicted. Yeah. There's a moment that thinks it's self-inflicted, but certainly after the initial, whatever happened initially, I mean, I really should have fucking got hold of my phone and maybe phoned the police or something and said, look, I'm in shit. Or phoned the wife and said, look, I don't know where I am. But that would have panicked them. Can't afford to panic people. I don't know. Sometimes, you know, you can be big and strong and stupid. I think that was me. Cheers, all.